5 o'clock, we're gonna begin our coastal zone management restoration advisory meeting for Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. We're gonna do invocation and pledge allegiance. Please stand. Lord, you pray, watch over us and make the decisions for our constituents and the good of our parish. Amen. Amen. Please recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Tony Anhill. Here. Ernie Bowden.
Here.
Matt Benoit.
Here.
Doug W.
Here.
Merlin Leba.
Here.
Jan Rogers.
Here.
Barry Studier.
Present.
Marvin Stewart. Mickey Thomas. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting or meeting before, since we didn't meet last time? That'd be Barry, second by Jan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Minutes approved. New business permit application, Mr. Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got a couple of local concerns. Not that they're much of a concern, but Jerome and Donna Walker, some bulkheading along Little Bayou Black, off of 311. We judge this to be NDSI. You have what they did was it's 570 feet of bulkhead, but that's on either side together. Cumulatively, the bulkhead, they didn't fill anything in. All they did was to protect their property and cut their grass, basically. It's just bulkheaded. There's no impact on drainage, anything like that. So, NDSI. I don't either.
There's no action.
Thank you. All right, the next one is M&J Property. They want to drive and install four pilings in the water by their camp. This is an upland urban area. The waterway is not a parish waterway, not a named bayou. You can see right there on the corner. You're supposed to put four pilings in there, and there's no way that you could calculate that to come up with even 0.0001 of an acre. So again, I'm recommending on that. That's the drawing. Yeah, recommendation is NDSI on that. No direct significant impact.
So no action needed on that one either?
Yeah.
Need action? Second. Jan, approved, second by Barry. Any discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Any opposed? Passes. Any state concerns, consistency
Oh,
determinations?
yeah, no state concerns, no consistency determinations.
Subcommittee report, Jeff?
Subcommittee didn't meet, but we're waiting on the next time, so nothing to report.
All right, thank you. Restoration project,
Thank you,
Mr. Black.
Mr. Chairman. At the April 10th technical committee meeting in Baton Rouge, they recommended deauthorization of TE 117, which is the Island Road Marsh Creation and Nourishment Project managed by Patrick Williams of NOAA Fisheries. The task force this week is going to ratify that. Unfortunately, Mr. Williams has taken an early retirement from federal service. He has been an advocate for us as long as I've been doing this job. I'm going to miss the guy. I know the people taking his place, but Patrick has really worked for Terrebonne Parish, so he's gone. I don't think that the task force is going to take any action on deauthorizing 170 or 139 or 166 is gone. But TE 156, that's the Bayou Rackrosy Marsh Creation and Ridge Restoration, did get approved for construction funding at the technical committee meeting. Finally got the money, and they're going to ratify it at the task force meeting on May 8th, which is good news. The on page 2, the CPRA 2009 master plan team had contacted me about completing a survey to have more information, which I did. And they wanted to know, they cited some report, is that our coastal master plan for Terrebonne? I said, no, it's not. And I sent them the link to the resiliency plan. So at least they've got the latest for them to use in their planning efforts. On April 9th, there were some people came down from NFWF, National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. They apparently funded some terracing work for Ducks Unlimited in the Dularge area and on the Harry Berg property just south of Falgoux Canal Road. Well, we toured both of those, and they were really impressed with the work that had been done. And then on the 11th, we took them on a tour of the Bayou Terrebonne Freshwater Diversion Project involving the improvements we had to make at Pump Station D3 in Upper Montague and at D69 in Pointe-a-Chat. Everything worked as advertised. We gave them the operating parameters for that. They were very happy. Now, on that project, besides all the corporate sponsors, also had Restore the Earth, which put together all the sponsorships. And of course, Ducks Unlimited did the permit drawings for that project. So, Ducks Unlimited has been a good partner. We just submitted a pre-application to NFWF for the engineering, design, and permitting for the Karen Crow Bayou Bayou Diversion Project. That's something we've been pushing for a long time, never got Quipper to bite on it, okay, never made the cut. But I think the fact that NFWF was here early and saw the work, the successful work we had done with DU, submitted this pre-app to them. If they give us the okay, we'll put together the full app in June. They'll notify us in June. The full app's got to be by July 17th. So kudos to Ducks Unlimited for the help they've given us in that. All right. We received notice of a grant award from CPRA for the fiscal year 25 parish matching grant application in the amount of $775,000. Ducks Unlimited, again, they've got the engineering and the permitting done for the Bay Rackrosy Phase 1 terracing project. They needed the money to complete that project. So the parish, small cash grant, so we're good to go on that. We haven't signed the IGA yet, but that's coming. In your I think your packet, I put together this spreadsheet on projects. It's color-coded what they are. The yellow, it's coastal projects that have been deauthorized or not selected for further evaluation. Now, this is a draft. I'm still working on this. The blue are projects that are currently under construction. The pink is a project that's been completed. And the green are projects that were selected for phase 0 evaluation. There is a second sheet to that. Same, no, not the same, Claude. You look on the third page. The green is currently being evaluated. That's the one project we got, made it to the next level from PPL 35. Is that West Ile Jean Charles Marsh Creation Project? Tell you the truth, I'm not optimistic it's going to make the cut coming up with, I know why they selected it. because they're working on the land bridge in the east between La Rose and Ile de Jean Charles. Okay, they're trying to find an alignment, thank God. This would be on the western end of it. So if this project works, then they know they've got the first marsh creation project in the western alignment. So fingers crossed. On the Carencro Bayou diversion, we submitted that to NIFWIP. I feel pretty good about that one. That we're going to get the funding to do the engineering and permitting for that. So what else I got here? All right. The black mangrove planting on the Fouchon terraces was an interesting project. And you've done that kind of stuff on that. It ain't easy, man. That's some muddy work. And I lasted about a half a day before I had to leave. But nevertheless, there was a lot of black mangroves and other plants that had to be put in the ground on one of those terraces. And Ducks Unlimited was there along with people from Jefferson Parish, Lafourche. So it was a good deal.
Where were y'all? Y'all were down in Fouchon?
Yeah, right there. It's the terraces that are protecting Highway 1 on the way to Grand Isle. Yeah.
On the right side.
Yeah. So CIC permits for the month of April, 7 permits state, 3 local. Permits initiated. Vicky's been very good about this. 20 of them initiated. So we had a total of 10 permits, collected $1,700. Now, 2 of the state local concerns were permit extensions. We don't charge for that. They've already paid. So for the year, we're still at $24,000 in permit fees. On the last page, the upcoming May meetings. May the 8th, the Quipper Task Force in New Orleans. I'll be there for that. Coastal Day at the Legislature on the 12th. I'm going to be there for that. I'm going to try to do the CPRA meeting on the 14th, but I'll have to do it virtually. Something's in the way I can't go. And there's another event, Conservation on Tap at Thibodeau. I'm not sure exactly what that is. It's at Grady V's, but I got invited. I figured, what the hell, I'll go. All right, May 20th, the State of the Coast Conference in New Orleans. It's a 3-day thing. I can only do 1 day. That's the first day, so I'm going to go there for that. And then on the 29th, the Louisiana Watershed Initiative Region 6 meeting is in Pierre Part, and we expect a lot of people to be there. And I'm the chairman of that committee. And we're going to be talking about that watershed plan, and our consultant will be there as well. So, unless there's any questions, Mr. Chairman, that's all I got.
Go over your chart right here again. This is not, go back over this again. How are you getting, there's more projects than this, right? I mean, you're saying the pink is the one that's completed, right?
That's completed in monitoring, yeah.
In monitoring.
Well, look, the ones that are totally gone by the wayside, I took them off.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I took them off.
They've
Now,
been completed and gone.
there's
There's a lot more completed.
This
than
one is in monitoring, that one in pink, that's the Bayou Declared Ridge and March Creation.
Right.
The CPRA is out there monitoring that project.
I got you.
On the second page, the vast majority, well, all these projects came from our resilience plan. And so they picked up the West Ile de Jean Charles, Quipper did. We'll see what happens with that. And, hopefully we'll get the Carencro Bayou Diversion Project funded in the first, engineering and permitting.
Yeah, and well, just to let everybody know that we just don't have one project completed. We got lots of other projects out there.
Oh, yeah, they've been completed,
I just
long
was just
gone,
kinda
yeah, I mean,
getting
look,
in my mind what
ain't
we're-
enough paper to put all that stuff.
Yeah, I
in.
know. We've actually done well with the projects. that have been
Yes, yeah,
completed.
we have, but
It
this
looks
is,
bad when you only just see one. I was trying to pick up the whole idea of the thing.
yeah, I'm
It's a lot
trying
of
to,
information.
this is basically the active projects.
Yeah.
I didn't make it today. That's the active, so to speak.
Yeah.
The second page of the prospective projects.
Right, I
okay?
got you, that's,
So Mark, the
makes
T 156, can you remind me what that project is that's been,
the
All right,
big-
156 is
Which-
the increment number one at around Bayrocracy. It's a marsh creation and ridge restoration project along that northern rim.
So it is what.
That is what we
yeah,
talking about.
Yeah, yeah, and then some marsh creation on the left side.
Now, the increment two didn't make the cut. It's pretty much going. We're not going to fund that.
So it's
Why?
approved
I don't
for
know.
construction is what you said, so.
but they're not gonna fund it?
This increment two,
No, this one, it's going, it's getting closer to being funded,
Okay.
yeah,
right?
yeah, they'll approve it on the 8th of this month. They'll ratify the decision made by the technical committee because they got the money for it. Now, finally, got the money to go to construction.
So out of all these projects, that's our best chance of anything going to construction next.
Yes. Well, now, TE 165 and 165 is actually under construction, but it got paused for nesting season because that's at HNC Bird Island. Okay, they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
pick that up in September and finish it in December. So it is under construction. They just paused it. Raccoon Island is in E&D, engineering and design, right now. They're looking at several options. Unfortunately, Pat Williams is kind of ramrodding that, and I hope they look at the right option. Hey, man,
How about the Terrebonne Land Bridge?
that's in the east.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah, that's
ConocoPhillips.
TE 181. Okay, they're looking at that, trying to find an alignment for it. We've had all kinds of problems out in the east. We've had land bridge options that came up, and they looked at everything, went by the wayside. But this time, several of the federal partners came to me and said, "Look, what we want to do is put together a team to go out there and start looking for a potential alignment for that land bridge." I said, "Thank God. I hope you find it." And if they do find an alignment that works, they should be able to drop in a marsh creation increment so that in a subsequent PPL, that can be selected and done. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on it, but I think it's a long shot. But they're going to take the lessons they've learned from TE 117 and try to apply that. They know it's going to be more expensive. They know that going into it.
I'm talking about the one that ConocoPhillips was holding us up on. For,
Oh, TE 139, they're still holding us up on that. Now, in ConocoPhillips defense, for the Karen Crow Bayou Diversion Project, they're putting up 30 grand. Okay, it's a match. The parish is putting up 20. Going to be $50,000 in that grant, in that match. And ConocoPhillips has ponied up.
That's good for that, but in the meantime, the east bank of Bayou Terrebonne heading towards Seabreeze has disappeared
You know,
quickly.
I know, guys. I know. I was in a meeting today and I talked about that. You know, we're in dire shape out there. Dire shape. So look, I'm going to pass the hat. Any of y'all want to contribute?
But they still need to sign though. It don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see Scott on show talking to the chamber. What is his position now?
He's got a private nonprofit that
He's not with the state anymore.
deals with no. He runs a private nonprofit. I forget the name of it, but he's pushing the environment, energy, and the economy. Those three things together, and he's tied the work that's going on in the deep water and the Gulf to the monies that's supporting state and federal park projects in other states that aren't on the coast. So they're tied. It's that Great America Outdoor Act. That
Yeah.
money from offshore is going to help that. So
Other
that
parts
he's
of the
got-
country.
Huh?
Other parts of the country.
Absolutely.
Because I guess it's in federal waters, so it's federal dollars. And they could
Yeah, well,
basically
you
do it.
can,
Yeah.
make that argument.
Yeah.
But we do get some of that.
Right, no, I understand that.
I mean, it's important to
We
us.
should get all of it. So talking about that, how many, you getting any new drilling rig permits?
Uh,
I mean, do you know how many rigs we have out there right now?
no, I don't.
I saw a shallow water rig for the first time in Intracoastal this past week.
That's why I'm asking the question. So
Yeah, but is that offshore or is that inshore?
I saw
That's a
one moving in
working
on the
rig.
Intracoastal.
That's
Hadn't
not
seen
all
one in
that.
the Intracoastal in years.
I think there was one
All
going
right,
down.
thank you, Mr. Black. Public comments. Connor, you got anything?
Yeah, now that,
Let's just step up, give your name and, yeah, for the record.
Tyler, 5953 Alma Street, Homer, Louisiana. Now that, Illdra Charles Road is going underwater, the last I heard was once it goes under, the state's not putting it back in business again. Is that gonna be a fact?
We don't have nothing to do with that, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, cause it was way underwater this time. They were throwing the cast net on the road.
Really?
Well, they were scooping the crabs off the road.
Exactly, by hand. Taking the crabs
But,
off the
I
road.
mean, our committee, we don't
Yeah.
have no input on.
Yeah, I
mean,
was just
because
throwing that
before
out.
us, we can
Yeah.
approve it, but
Right, yeah, I was just trying to see what was gonna go on with it, because at the rate it looks like right now, I mean, the water's coming over the road now and we don't have nothing but thunderstorms and high river water. So
yeah, those rocks on the,
those rocks on the end are
on
pushing
the
the
south
middle of
side
the
can
road
only do
up.
so much.
Yeah, all the rocks on the side are pushing, it's going this way, it's gonna split open, cause they got both sides all rocked. So, but they had quite a bit of water on it this past month. I was watching it, so I didn't, oh, yeah, yeah, so.
Yeah, we can, approve it or whatever when it comes across, but
Yeah, just
we were just
curiosity.
trying to get our regular projects through.
Exactly, yeah. I was just food for thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any, committee member comments? Jeff? Tony? Merlin? Matt?
Just mentioned that our management conference meeting is
The 8th,
on the 8th.
yeah, I gotta be in bed.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it's our crawfish one, so if y'all wanna come, Spars is, a crawfish, so. That now, yeah.
At Nichols
On
on
Nichols, at the ballroom,
what time?
9:30.
Got it? It's 9:30 a.m.
Yep.
Barry, you got anything? No. Jan? Stewart? All right, our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 3rd. This meeting room at 5 p.m. Have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Jan, second by Matt. Meeting adjourned.
Got some weather coming our way, don't we? Right here.
I thought it was gonna hit something today, but it missed us so
Yeah.
far.